Hey everyone, welcome back to Weirdly Forgotten. I'm Ripon, and today we are rediving into a story that proves even the most trusted tools can be designed to deceive. This is the map that changed everything, by lying. It was accepted as fact for centuries, shaping empires and fortunes. But how did one deliberate mistake manage to redraw the entire world? Stick around, because the truth is stranger and far more calculated than you can imagine. Imagine you're a ship captain in the 17th century. Your life, your crew, and the fortunes of your nation depend on the charts you carry. You trust them implicitly. But what if that trust was misplaced? What if the very map guiding you was a carefully crafted illusion, a lie printed on paper? For hundreds of years, that's exactly what happened. The most influential maps of the world, the ones used by explorers, merchants, and monarchs, contained a colossal error. An entire landmass, a legendary island, was placed where it simply didn't exist. This wasn't just a simple mistake. It was a phantom that haunted the world's oceans, luring ships to their doom and altering the course of history. So, what was this ghost on the map? It was an island called Freyland, supposedly located south of Iceland. It appeared on nearly every major chart from the 1560s onward, depicted with detailed coastlines, towns, and mountains. Mariners sailing the treacherous North Atlantic would search for it, sometimes believing they'd found it, only to be met with empty, unforgiving seas. The mystery deepens when you look at the coordinates. They weren't just slightly off, they were fundamentally wrong, placing land where there was only ocean. How could such a prominent feature, documented by the world's leading cartographers like Gerardus Mercator and Abraham Ortelius, be completely fabricated? Was it a collective delusion? A simple, repeated error? Or was something far more cunning at play? The origins of Friesland trace back to a mysterious document published in Venice in 1558. This text, known as the Zeno narrative, claimed to be the rediscovered letters of two Venetian brothers, Niccolo and Antonio Zeno, who had supposedly embarked on a grand voyage across the North Atlantic in the 1390s. The narrative was filled with incredible tales of adventure, describing encounters with northern kings and the discovery of new lands, including the islands of Friesland, Estotiland, and Drogeo. The account was published by a descendant, also named Niccolo Zeno, who claimed to have found the letters in his family's dusty attic. Along with the sensational story, he included a map, the Zeno map, purporting to show the brothers' discoveries. This map was the patient zero of the Freyland infection. It looked authentic, detailed, and convincing. Cartographers, hungry for new information about the largely uncharted North, eagerly incorporated its details into their own world maps. They had no reason to doubt it. After all, it was presented as a genuine historical record from a noble Venetian family. And so, the lie began to spread. But here's the twist. Modern historians have almost universally concluded that the Zeno narrative and its accompanying map were a complete and utter forgery. The younger Niccolo Zeno likely fabricated the entire story, possibly to bolster his family's prestige and Venice's claim to maritime glory at a time when Spain and Portugal were dominating the age of discovery. He cobbled together details from other explorers' accounts, mixed in some pure fantasy, and created a compelling piece of historical fiction. The coordinates were wrong because they were invented. The towns and cities on Friesland never existed. It was all a lie, born from ambition and ink. The problem was, in an era without satellite imaging or GPS, a well-made map was the highest form of geographical truth. Once the world's most respected map makers copied the error, it became gospel. So if Friesland was a known phantom by the 18th century, why did it persist on maps for so long? This is where the story shifts from a simple hoax to a tool of power. The answer lies in the fierce competition for global dominance between colonial powers like Britain, France, Spain, and the Netherlands. The North Atlantic was a critical theater of this conflict. It held the key to the lucrative fishing grounds of Newfoundland and, more importantly, the mythical Northwest Passage, a sea route to Asia that promised unimaginable wealth. In this high-stakes game, knowledge was power, and geographical knowledge was the ultimate weapon. An inaccurate map could be incredibly useful. Imagine you're a British naval strategist. By keeping a phantom island like Friesland on your official charts, you could create confusion for your rivals. French or Spanish ships, relying on those same maps, might waste precious time and resources searching for a non-existent harbor or landmark, giving your own fleet a strategic advantage. It was a subtle form of geographical warfare. The lie became a strategic asset. Control over cartography was, in essence, control over reality itself. Nations established powerful hydrographic offices, not just to create accurate maps for their own navies, but to control the flow of information to others. They could publish maps with intentional inaccuracies, omitting strategic passages known only to them or including false dangers to deter rivals from certain routes. Friesland was the perfect smokescreen. Its continued presence on maps wasn't just a failure to correct an old mistake. It was a deliberate act of maintaining a useful fiction. It served as a constant reminder that in the world of empire building, even a map couldn't be trusted. The lines drawn on paper were not just representations of land and sea. They were declarations of power, tools of deception, and instruments of control. The truth was a closely guarded secret, while the lie was published for the world to see. The legacy of the Zeno map is a powerful lesson in how easily information can be weaponized. It shows that what we accept as knowledge is often shaped by hidden agendas and the ambitions of those in power. The story of Friesland isn't just a quirky historical footnote. It's a stark illustration of how a single, well-crafted lie can embed itself in our understanding of the world for centuries, influencing exploration, trade, and warfare. It reminds us that truth is not always self-evident. It must be questioned, verified, and fought for. In an age where digital misinformation can spread even faster than a 16th century map, the tale of this phantom island is more relevant than ever. It forces us to ask, what are the Frieslands on our maps today? What accepted facts are actually convenient fictions, designed to shape our beliefs and control our actions? The map that lied to the world proves that the most powerful deceptions are the ones hidden in plain sight, masquerading as established truth. Thank you for joining me on this journey into one of history's most fascinating deceptions here on Weirdly Forgotten. If you enjoyed unraveling this mystery, please hit that like button and consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss our next dive into the strange and surprising corners of the past. Let me know in the comments what other historical puzzles you'd like to see covered. Until next time, stay curious.